And it comes out of these kind of beliefs also, that we are not judgmental. Whoever dies and has not repented from the burden of his sin, turn his matter over to Allah. Don't speak evil of him or her. Don't say that he's in the fire, she's in the fire, because you don't know. And you don't know even how they died. Maybe in their last moments they did tawbah, right? Maybe Allah forgave them everything. So be careful what we say. And we're not God. And we don't pretend to be God. And that's the thing also about these Muslims who are in our face. It's like, who in the world are you? Do you realize what is one of the greatest sins? The kabira. We talked about kabira. Okay, what is a major sin? Well, we know. Adultery, fornication, robbery, false witness, right? And you can name some other ones. There's one that's much bigger than that. And that is to talk about this religion in ignorance. If you say this is haram and you don't know, that is just like an act of adultery. Or you say that this is obligatory and it's not, that is like an act of robbery. And this is what we have in our community today. You know, in Chicago, there was a brother, African-American brother, who came into Islam, and he's got his earrings, his golden earrings in his ears. And you know, he made wusul, he made wudu, he took the shahada, he goes into the mosque to pray, and some uncle comes up in his face and tells him, you know, terrible things. And like, you know, you can't have this, this is haram, this is haram. Like, who are you? First of all, we have a whole science of enjoining right and forbidding wrong, and you don't say a word. And what's going to be the effect of this? And secondly, is that true? Because for something to be haram, everybody has to agree that it's haram. And Imam al-Shafi'i doesn't agree, because he says that if it is covered with gold, but it's not gold itself, you can wear it, makruh. So did you know that opinion? So you've got nothing to say. And what that man did was a major sin, and he thinks he's a saint. What's going on? See, this is moral decay, and we have got to learn to be quiet. You know, we had a sister that came into Islam, and she had, astaghfirullah, she was wearing fingernail polish. Can you believe it? Fingernail polish. Can you think of anything worse? You know, and so there's women, aunties, who are all over her. Your wudu is not valid. Look, this is an opinion that some schools have and others don't have. You've got nothing to say. And they drove her out of Islam. And they drove the man out of Islam too. He said, look, you know, I did not become a Muslim to be talked to like this. And he walks out of the mosque. That is a major, major, major sin. And it happens in our communities all the time. That's one of the reasons why in the United States we have the Ta'leef Collective. The Ta'leef Collective with Brother Osama Cannon that tries to create safe spaces for Muslim men and women, converts, and also people that come from the backgrounds like most of you who may not have been practicing. And then they come back into the faith and they found out, like, that of all the places in the United States, the place where I am the least welcome is not the bar, it's the mosque. What is going on? This is a really, really serious problem. Okay, and this is ignorance, and this is a major sin. Okay, then Wafa, what did you want to ask? So the question is, can you ask forgiveness for people? Yes, you can. In Ahlul Sunnah and Jama'ah, we don't have issues with that. Okay, we don't have issues with that. I know a great Moroccan, some of you know him, you may know him, Muli Hashim. Do you know Muli Hashim? So a lot of you know Muli Hashim. He's a great, great man. And you know, he had a sister who died maybe 1980. I met him, you know, not too long after that. And his sister didn't pray, and she was a good woman, but she just didn't pray, and probably she wasn't bad, but you know, she was very lax about her religion. And she died young and unexpectedly. And so he was very worried about her. And he had particular du'as that he would make and dhikr that he would make in the last part of the night. And then one night he was drowsy, he'd done his dhikr, and she appeared to him. She came out of the barzakh, and that's possible. She came out of the barzakh, the intermediary world. And he asked her, he said, "How are you?" And she said, "I have seen my book and I am unhappy. I'm not happy." And then she had to say, she had to leave. She said, "And I have to go now." And so he was really sad. And then he began to do everything for her that he could. He would give sadaqah on her behalf. He would read the Quran on her behalf. All of that is possible. None of these were issues. But again, it's like the rigid people. They also want to shut the doors of benefiting others. You know, when a person dies, it's very good to stay, if you're at their side, to say La ilaha illallah. Don't tell them, say La ilaha illallah, because they may not be able to do it. They may be preoccupied with other things. The throes of death are very difficult. They can be very, very difficult. But you say La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, so that they hear it. And there are people say, bid'ah, bid'ah. What? Bid'ah? I just want to help my brother out. I just want to help my sister. You take the body to the grave. We would say, La ilaha illallah. No, bid'ah, be quiet. You know, it's like what? It's like, you know, you don't want to help anybody, do you? You want us all to go to hell, don't you? You know, where are you going to end up? Where are you going to end up? Because that's the thing. When you're rigid like that, then, you know, man la yarham la yurham. As the Prophet said, those who are not merciful, no mercy will be shown to them. Nas'Allah al-afwa al-afiyah. Then he says, لا بالعذاب للمسيء يقطع والكفر والتخليد عنه يمنع. So again, he's talking about what is possible about Allah. He can forgive. So he says, لا بالعذاب للمسيء يقطع والكفر والتخليد عنه يمنع. We have no definite conviction that the wrongdoer will be punished. Okay, so we should say have no definite conviction that the wrongdoer will be punished. Okay, in other words, again, leave it to Allah. That's what he's saying. Like, you know, this person was really bad. They did bad things. They said bad things. But you don't know where they're going. So don't have any conviction in your heart that they are going to be punished, because maybe they won't be punished. Maybe Allah will forgive them. That's possible. He does in His kingdom whatever He wills, not what you will, right? وَالْكُفْرُ وَالتَّخْلِيدُ عَنْهُ يُمْنَعُ. This is really important. And disbelief and eternal punishment in the fire are not to be attributed to him. So he's adding that. See? So for example, the person was a Muslim. Maybe they did bad things. A lot of Muslims are that way. And they've died, so you don't know where they're going and don't have any conviction in your heart that definitely he's in the fire. Because you don't know. That's not your business. You're not a Lord. And you cannot attribute kufr to them. That you cannot say he's a kafir. See, we're really careful about that. So again, it's like when you see people today, it's like what they relish more than anything else. It's saying, he's a kafir, he's a kafir, he's a kafir. You have these beasts, you know, on Egyptian television, saying everybody's a kafir with his big long beard. It's like he owns Islam, right? It's like, I own it. I don't know about you. Your beard's not very long, you know, but my beard, look at my beard, way down to here, right? I've got to be pious. No, anybody who's got a beard and doesn't shave it, it will grow, okay? But that's what they do. It's like, he's a kafir, he's a kafir, she's a kafir, and these people among themselves are no more merciful. And that's the way the Khawarij were too. They say, everybody's a kafir. And then they say, but you're also one. You know, we were fighting together, but then we disagree. You're a kafir as well. We see that happens at a lot of these mosques that people like that have. they divide, they divide, they divide again. So this is a curse, and this is clear deviation from the path of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We are not like that. We are humble people and forgiving people. You cannot attribute kufr to him, and you cannot say that he will be eternally punished, because everything we know about him or her was that they were Muslims. And whoever has a mustard grain of faith in their heart will be forgiven, right? We know that from the hadith of the Prophet. So they're not disbelievers, and they may be in the fire for a long time, and you don't want to be in the fire for a single moment, okay? But they will not be in the fire forever. They may be there for a long time. Who will be the last person to come out of the fire? Well, we'll see, inshallah. And may we never go there at all. You never want to go to the fire for a single instant. You can't bear it. You can't even bear to look at it. If you see the garden, you know, the whole world will wilt before your eyes. And the garden does not look that different from this world, especially this beautiful world. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. The garden doesn't look that different, but it is very different because of the way it's structured. You know that there are different manifestations. In the garden, if you see it, you know, this world really wilts, not beautiful anymore. And the fire, ooh. So we don't want to go to the fire for a single instant. And we don't want to be judged for a single instant. And be humble. Okay.